Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the day 6 of our Excel learnings, and today we'll continue with the new tool or a function present in the MS Excel, and we'll learn something new from what we learned in the previous videos. Make sure to watch the video till the end to never miss any learnings. Today I'm going to help you learn something which is known as number formatting. Now, number formatting becomes very important as we deal with the large amount of data which includes decimals, percentages, and many more. To help you learn, I would like you to show the practical aspects of it. Now, without going into much theoretical parts, let's directly go and look how do we format a number in the Excel. Now let's understand how does the number formatting work in the MS worksheet by looking the practical aspects of it. Here I have taken certain examples to help us understand how does the number formatting work. To help us learn, I have taken certain questions which we would be answering in the number format so that you can understand how does the number formatting work. Firstly, I have asked earnings of a person in a financial year 23-24. Suppose I take a random value and type 10 lakh over year, and in the next question, that is earning of a person in a financial year 24-25, I put 12 lakh 50,000 year. Now, for anybody who is viewing this data at a glance, you would not be able to understand what is the value I have written over here because there is no comma specified in the number. If you want to look, you have to manually count it like this. That is over here three zeros, hundred, then thousands, then lakhs. This is 10 lakhs. This would be a very tedious process, and the person would find it hectic to find out what is the value written over here. So that we can use a number formatting function which inserts comma and tells us how we can read the value it just by looking at it. Now to insert that, firstly I have to select the cell for which I want to insert the particular function. Number formatting functions are present in the Home tab under the Number section. As you can see, I am moving my mouse in that part. Here there is something known as number. This is the number section where we can enable the number formats. Firstly, I'll go with inserting a comma. You can see a comma over here. If I click on that, it gives me a comma wherever required, that is at the hundreds, thousands, and lakhs. Now, just by looking at this, we can tell that the first value is 10 lakh and the second value is 12 lakh 50,000. Okay, now it's just a round figure. I do not want any decimal point. But if I want to remove it manually, I can come over here and can click. Now see what happens. If I click over here, there is no point 0.00 physically written over here. If I press enter, we can see that zero point 0.00 appears. If I if I select the cell B2, I can see that in my formula box or formula bar over here, there is nothing mentioned as zero point 0.00. This tells us that the Excel only identifies it as a zero point 0.00 and places two decimal points when you click the comma in the number section. To remove that, we have to select the cells for which you want to remove and press over here that's a decrease decimals. If we click on it, we can see that the decimal points get erased or it gets deleted. You can do it in another way, that is click on the cell by right clicking the mouse. You see something known as format cells over here. By clicking on the format cells, you can go to number and see over here it is asking for decimal places. If I put two decimal places and click on OK, it will come as 0.00. If I want to remove it, I'll again go to the format cells and decrease it to 0 and press OK. You see the decimal points are erased off. Now to find the percentage increase or decrease in income, it is raised from 10 lakhs to 12 lakh 50,000, that specifies 25% increase. Now if I write 25 over here, it gives me only 25 and not percentage. If I want to make it 25%, one way is to come over here and manually put the option of percentage. Now if I click here, you can see that in the format section over here, it specifies percentage. Over here, if I text, it tells a number. Now, if I take a percentage over here, and again, if I go over here, I'll put it to number, and you can see 0.00 is mentioned. One way you have seen is to manually type the percentage symbol in the cell where you want to insert a percentage. Another option is that we can do it with an option known as percentage somewhere mentioned over here. You can see I placed my cursor in that option. Now, firstly, I'll delete this and put a format painter function. For that, I need to do is click on the other cell and put a format painter and click it over here. I have put on a format painter because before putting a format painter, the cell over here was formatted as percentage, but I not required any percentage and I want a general format, so I formatted the option from my B5 cell to B4 cell. Now another option to put a percentage symbol is simply write 25 and click on the percentage over here. But there is a catch over here. That is, if you type 25 and put a percentage symbol, it comes as 2500 percentage. Now why is this coming so? Because Excel understands percentage from 0 to 1, that is somewhere between 0 and 1, not the whole number after 1. Now see what happens is that if I type simply 0.25 over here and press enter, it gives me 25%. This is how the Excel recognizes percentages. Next, let's see how do we format a date and a time in the MS worksheet. Here, I've asked something, what is today's date? And if I write today's date as 13/5/2025, it gets written over here. Same way, I write the time as 10 p.m. The same gets mentioned over here. But what if we want here something to be written as 13th of May 2025? Can we change it? Yes, we can change it. We can come to the format function over here and click the drop down button and make it for long date. If you click on the long date format, it comes as 13 May 2025. Date, same way we can format the date also by clicking on the date, it gets displayed. We can also change the date format by right clicking on the mouse and going into the format cells and by specifying the type of date we require. Suppose I require the minute also, sorry, seconds also, I can type on this and click on OK. Now I have mentioned 10 p.m. so it's not coming in the format which I choose. I just take away the PM and see that it comes in the hour, minute and second wise. Now what if I want the same to be entered just within a single shortcut key? Can we do that? Yes, we can do that. This is the recent shortcut key which I came across and found it useful. The shortcut key to enable the date is Control plus semicolon. We see that the date get enters. And the shortcut key to enable the time is Control plus Shift and semicolon. We see the time gets inserted too. Next comes the part which is the rounding off part. Now if you see I have written the pizza is divided into pieces of 6 and I get one piece among it. So what is my share? It is 1 divided by 6 which comes to 1.0.16667. Now this is a huge number of decimal point present over here. What if I want to minimize it? I have said you previously how to decrease a decimal point, that is by clicking on the decrease decimals. I go on clicking. I suppose I wanted to make it to 2 decimals after the point, so I go on clicking till the point comes. Now watch closely how does the decimal get changed. When I click the decrease decimal button, the data gets changed from 0.167 to 0.17, and if I again click on the decreased decimal, it gets changed to zero point 0.2. That is nothing but Excel is rounding off it to the next nearest rupee and not to its next smallest rupee. it gets converted to the next nearest decimal point. That is, if I click here, it comes to 0.17, and if I again click over, it comes to zero point 0.2. This is the thing which you need to remember while you use the function of decreased decimals. That's it for the day, guys. I hope you have understood what I have taught today and learned a lot. I'll come up with more videos in the upcoming videos. So to never miss any updates and learnings in the MX Excel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss any updates. This is your friend Suraj signing off. Bye. Have a good day.